Today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Budapest, capital city of Hungary. I'm Canadian from West Coast, Canada, specifically Victoria, capital city of British Columbia. I hope everybody is having a great week so far. Welcome to this week's of live IELTS streaming. We are going to kick this week off with some IELTS speaking part 1, and these lessons are presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS preparation and success. Visit us there. For general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. That's generalieltshelp.com. On both of our websites, we have loads and loads of great materials to help you prepare, improve your communication skills and your English skills together to get those nice high band scores. We're a team of teachers, psychologists, and exam engineer experts. So we know what's good for you if you want to improve quickly. Hi, Jainil. Good to see our members in the class. Hi, Raghav. Hi, Saravdeep. Hi, Saki Bose. Good to see some of our regular students in the class today. If anybody has questions, of course, you can reach out to me. Send an email to adrian@aehelp.com, and I will gladly answer your IELTS inquiries or inquiries about our products. Our websites look like this. This is the academic website. You can click that big red button to join the premium package. And there you will find an option to practice your speaking with IELTS students for free, just like Skype or WhatsApp. It's built into the website, and it's the same for the general IELTS, so you can create a My Student account. You can do that for free by clicking the green button, and then you will see a student partner speaking button in your My Student account. So you can practice your speaking there with video or audio, both up to you, and of course you can text as well. All right, students. Hi, Bhumi. Hi, Rashika. Good to see more of our members. So these live classes, everyone, the streaming is usually from 15 to 16 o'clock where everybody can join the chat. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we have members chat only classes. Of course, everybody can watch. Those are from 13:30 to 14:30 Central European Time. And you can always find the class schedules for these live classes on our YouTube community posts on our channel. So you can check that out. Sandy's asking, is this for academic or general? This channel is for academic, but of course the speaking and listening sections, Sandy, are the same for academic and general. It's mostly the reading section that's different, and writing task 1 is different for academic and general. So don't confuse those. But otherwise, of course, today's class, the speaking, it's for anyone taking the IELTS exam. Tomorrow, we're going to start a task 2 essay with members, and then we'll do a task 1 with everyone. And then later in the week, we'll have some reading. We'll have a question and answer session for members and a speaking part 3. Let's get into some questions. This is a speaking class. So very, very importantly, students, make sure to speak and repeat, stay focused, okay? I'm going to make corrections to your responses in the chat as well. The goal here, of course, is practice, so make sure to speak and repeat. Work hard to copy my intonation, my pronunciation. If the pronunciation feels a little bit odd when you're copying me, that's fine, okay? Pronunciation can seem a little bit weird when you're actually doing a good job, so make sure to copy my pronunciation. Of course, as I said earlier, I'm speaking with a Canadian West Coast accent, so this is what you would hear in Vancouver, this is what you would hear in Victoria, and of course, all along the West Coast, even in the US, so Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, you would hear accent that's similar to mine as well. It's a very clear, crisp English accent, the West Coast North American accent, so it's a good one to learn, okay? All right, so let's just warm up your speaking a bit with some of these introductory questions. You get to your IELTS speaking interview. It only takes about 15 minutes. It's not a real conversation. It's not a chit chat. You have 15 minutes to prove to the IELTS examiner that you have good skills, not only in English, but also good communication skills. It's important to understand that difference, okay? We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's just get into it. So the examiner will say, welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I'm going to be your examiner for this part of the test. It has 3 parts. I will give you instructions for each. I'm going to record this for marking purposes. Firstly, what is your full name? Okay, always have a good answer for this. Practice this so you're very comfortable, natural when you're giving the answer to this. Of course, you don't want to sound off when you give your name because that sets a bad tone. So you really want to be bang on with giving your name. Ravneet Sidhu says, my given name is Ravneet and my surname is Sidhu, but you can call me by my nickname, Neetu. Okay, Neetu is not short, Ravneet. Neetu is just a nickname. It's not a part of your name, so it's only a nickname, okay? Careful with that, Ravneet. Don't say for short for that, okay? When you use for short, Ravneet, it's like saying Tom for Thomas or Pete for Peter, okay? Or Rav for Ravneet, okay? But Neetu is not short for Ravneet, okay? So careful with that. Samuel Sadir Vara says, my full name is Vara Samuel Sadir. Please just call me Samuel. Very good, Samuel. Nice and clear to the point. Sandy says, is accent important in the speaking or grammar? Yeah, I mean, Sandy, you want to have a clear accent for sure, the answer to your question. So you want to speak in a way that's understandable for your examiner. Whether that's British or American, it doesn't matter. It just has to be clear, okay? Bhumi Chatbar says, I'm Bhumi Chatbar. Please refer to me by my given name, which is Bhumi. Very good, Bhumi. Nice. Nice use of the adjective clause, which is. Okay, right away showing some good grammar there with the adjective clause, Bhumi. Good for you. Amit Hassan says, my first name is Amit and my family name is Hassan. Please just call me Amit. Okay, lots of different ways to say it. Just make sure it's clear. Nagame Un says, my family name is Nagame. My given name is Un, so please just call me Un. Very good. All right, so that's how you do it. Nice and fluent, full sentences. Okay. Yeah, and it's okay if you start with something like, I'm Jeffrey Sanders. Please just call me Jeff for short. Always let the examiner know what you want them to call you. Otherwise, that is their follow-up question. So if you don't say what you want to be called, the examiners will usually say, okay, what should I call you? And then you have to answer that. So answer that question right away without being asked, just so that the examiner knows you prepared for the exam, you have an idea of what is happening. That will give them confidence as well and work towards a higher band score. Okay, so what is your full name? I'm Jeffrey Sanders. Please just call me Jeff for short. Okay, doesn't have to be really long, but it still needs to be expressive. Okay, I'm Jeffrey Sanders. That's too short. Okay, you need to be a little bit more expressive than that. All right, so be prepared for that. Okay. All right, is everybody clear on giving your name and what you have to do with that and the reason why you have to give a nice, clear, complete answer and let them know what to call you? That examiner might see students from 5, 6, 7 different countries on that day. Okay, just because you're in India taking the exam doesn't mean that every examinee will be from India. There could be people there from Nepal or other places as well doing the exam. So don't assume that the examiner is specific to your cultural background. All right. Okay. So Ifran and Raki say, yeah, that's clear. All right. So be very clear on that first question. And then the next question will be, may I see your identification? Okay. So again, another question that you will be asked. Make sure to have the ID that you use to register. And again, use a nice full sentence for this. Don't just say yes and hand it to them. Okay. that will kind of scare the examiner. They'll be like, is that all? Okay, so Real Diamond says, yes, of course, here's my passport. I used it for registration. Muskan Nisha says, yes, of course, here's my passport, which I used for the registration of this exam. Good, Muskan. That's nice, clear grammar. Okay. Flower Sun says, sure, here you are. Please have a look. Okay. Those are all great. So yes, certainly. Here is my passport that I used to register for this exam. Please have a look. Okay, so nice fluency here. Okay, repeat after me. May I see your identification? Yes, certainly. Here's my passport that I used to register for this exam. Please have a look. Okay, so just a quick tip here, students. With the first questions, so questions, you do not want the examiner to feel that they have to pull language out of you like a bad tooth. Okay? So you have to find the happy middle ground, okay? You want to make the examiner feel like, oh, great, this is going to be a nice, smooth interview. The student is prepared or the candidate is prepared, and they are here to answer my questions clearly and completely. Now, the opposite is also true, okay? Also, do not make the examiner feel like you are a runaway train and they have to cut you off at each question. Okay, that's the opposite that sometimes happens. Is students get bad information from the internet or from some IELTS classes where they hear, just a sec, my camera decided to start with a snooze today, but that's okay. You get a quick glimpse of my beautiful little baby girl when she was tiny. She's not as tiny anymore. And then we'll get right back into it here. Just give me one moment. Sometimes the camera is a little bit sensitive or touchy. But back on track we are. Okay, so again, so you want to find the happy middle ground here. And you want to make sure that you're not over-speaking. Okay, some students get this information from the internet or from some classes or somewhere that you just keep talking for each question until the examiner stops you. That is absolutely unnatural. It will lead to poor language. It will cause you to go off topic. And all of those will lead to a lower band score. Why? Because it's coherence mistakes, grammatical mistakes, and the examiner is not able to ask you the maximum possible number of questions to get a good idea of your speaking. Okay? So don't do that either. Okay? So keep this in mind. Okay? With the first few questions, you want the examiner to feel that they don't have to pull language out of you like a bad tooth. Also, don't make them feel like you're this rambler, runaway train, and they just have to keep cutting you off at each question. Okay, so be really careful with that. All right, so the examiner will say, okay, for part one, I will ask you a few more questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. And then they'll ask you a question like this. Do you work or study? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. All right. Bekjan says, currently, I'm in my hiatus from my workplace where I've been employed as a petroleum engineer for the past 2 years. Very nice, Bekjan. And then maybe include a little bit of what you plan to do to give us more clarity, okay? Pooja says, I have currently finished my bachelor's and I'm working as a part-time consultant at an accounting firm. And also these days I'm preparing for the IELTS to pursue my master's in the UK. Pooja, that's a really nice, well-rounded answer. Okay, good. And I like how you're introducing some present perfect in that answer, Pooja. So why not, right? Show grammatical range right away. All right. Very good. Okay. Lots of answers. Fantastic. Sammy Rocky says, I work as a bank manager in a public sector bank for the past 7 years. Also, I'm preparing for the IELTS to immigrate to Canada. Very good, Sammy. I hope that works out well for you. Canada can always use energetic young adults to push and build the nation. All right. Niyash Iman says, I'm a student. I recently completed my matriculation. I studied science and art subjects. Okay, Niyash, what was your major? What did you complete? Why did you do it? Why are you studying IELTS? Give me a little bit more. Okay, so don't keep talking, but give me enough so that I have clarity of what you're actually doing. Okay, working, studying, both, neither, and why. All right? Okay. Sarav Deep Singh says, well, currently I have completed my higher education and now I'm looking for admission to a good college in Canada. You mean high school, I think, Sarav Deep. I'm not sure what you mean by higher standard. That doesn't make much sense to me, although I might be missing something. Devraj says, at the moment, I've been working as a mobile application developer since 2019. My main goal there is to develop software according to the demands of my clients and colleagues. Devraj, very nice. Nice rounded answer. Good job. Okay, that gives me clarity. Irene Domingo says, both I work and I study. I have a job as a nurse caregiver here in Singapore, and also I'm studying an elderly course, which is dementia care for my application to Canada. Okay, very good, very nice. That's very valiant of you, Irene, to work with the elderly who are suffering from dementia. Okay, Ravneet says, well, I've recently completed my senior secondary education and currently I'm learning how to speak English with more fluency at Drona Academy. Very nice, Ravneet. That's a good answer, good explanation, gives me a lot of clarity. Yeah, so yes, I both work and study. I've been employed as an engineer at Aramco for the past 5 years, and I've been burning the midnight oil to prepare for this IELTS exam so I can complete my master's degree at MIT in the States. All right, so there you are. There's that introduction of grammatical range, clarity, and answer all in one. Repeat after me. Do you work or study? Yes, I both work and study. I've been employed as an engineer at Aramco for the past 5 years, and I've been burning the midnight oil to prepare for this IELTS exam so I can complete my master's degree at MIT in the States. I just made that up for something fun. But again, the important point here is the correlative conjunction, both and, the clarity of the answer right away, work and study. And then using the present perfect in the passive form here. So I've been employed as an engineer at Aramco. Specific answer. So don't just say I've been employed as an engineer, period, but I give the location of where I'm working as an engineer, and I give the time as well. So I have some good quantitative language. Then I continue with that present perfect, but here I switch to present perfect progressive. Notice that it's the been here as well, but here I'm using the ing form in this idiom. So this is an idiom, of course, burning the midnight oil, meaning to study very hard and for many hours each day. So I've been burning the midnight oil to prepare for this IELTS exam so I can complete my master's degree at MIT in the States. Okay, so that's a very clear, natural answer. All right, let's keep going. What do you do in your free time? These are classic questions that they ask in the IELTS, okay? These are very, very common. So what do you do in your free time? Try to paraphrase, show grammatical range, give explanation, and give smooth examples, okay? Inderpreet Singh says, in my free time, I call my friends and drive, or sometimes I read novels. Like now, I'm appreciating the book called Ravan, which is about a man who explores the jungles of India. Okay, Inderpreet, if you introduce that novel name, maybe give a very quick little synopsis of what the novel is about, because that will make your answer more complete and more interesting. Okay. Also, you can use the adjective clause, which is about an adventurer who, or which is about the history of. Okay. So use adjective clauses. Adjective clauses, students, push you to be more descriptive. So they're really good. Who, which, that. Okay. Use these. All right. Lydia Gerges. In my leisure time, I frequently read William Shakespeare and Jane Austen novels, as well as study intensively for the IELTS in order to obtain a high score. Very good, Lydia. By the way, students, I'm doing my best to pronounce your names. If I mispronounce them, my apologies in advance. Of course, as you can imagine, it's quite challenging to pronounce everybody's names from around the world, although I'm amazed at how beautiful names are in many different cultures and places. All right, Tamar Shkaklukia says, it depends on my mood, honestly. On weekends, when I have plenty of spare time, I like to dance, read books, watch movies, hike or hang out with my friends. Nice, Tamar. I actually did a bit of dancing today. Rhythm dance mostly, and a little bit of smooth dancing as well. It's one of my pastimes also. It's a nice way to move and enjoy life. Good for you. All right. Yashesh Vaidya says, oh, relaxation is the best idea to get rid of stress, so I genuinely watch some fantastic videos on YouTube that help me meditate. Yashesh, be really careful with your grammar, okay? It's a little bit awkward, right? A little bit on the awkward side. So sound natural, students. Sound natural. Amit Hassan says, I don't get enough free time from my busy schedule, but when I do get a bit of alone time on the weekend, I usually get up late, go outside for a chit-chat with friends, and also go out to restaurants to try some delicious foods. Amit, that's where I would throw in a smooth example. So I would say something like, last weekend I had a couple hours to grab some delicious chicken vindaloo at the Taj Mahal restaurant. Okay, just making that up, but that's all you have to do is just make it up. Okay, if nothing comes to mind, just make it up, but add that bit of fluency. Okay. Midi Lee says, photography. I love taking photos and posting them on all kinds of social media to share them with my friends. It's a good method to reassure my mind and my body and build my self-confidence and self-worth. Okay, Midi, self-confidence, self-worth by getting likes on photos that I post. Midi, we don't use the plural medias. We just say all kinds of social media, okay? Not plural on that, singular, social media. That's for everyone, okay? Pay attention, students, to these corrections because sometimes I see the same mistakes by a variety of students. Ishkender Durmaz says, well, I love to pick up my 6-year-old daughter to go to the playground in my spare time. Also, I chat with my friends on social media platforms such as Facebook and Discord. Sure. So, in my leisure time, I not only love to dance, usually rhythm, such as salsa and swing. But I also like to relax and unwind in front of the TV with my family and watch a great comedy like 2 days ago. We had tons of laughs watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay, that's a classic. All right, so again, repeat after me. What do you do in your free time? In my leisure time, I not only love to dance, usually rhythm dances such as salsa and swing, but I also like to relax and unwind in front of the TV with my family and watch a great comedy. Like 2 days ago, we had tons of laughs watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. All right, if you haven't seen it, it's an old classic, worth the watch. Okay, so far so good. You're confident, you're relaxed, you're calm, okay? If you're nervous, just imagine that the examiner is your grandfather or your grandmother. They love you. They're not there to judge you, but you have to speak to them very, very clearly with complete sentences using a loud voice. I mean, it's grandpa, grandma. They might not hear you if you're mumbling under your because you're all nervous, right? Talking to grandma and grandpa in a quiet mumble never works, because then grandpa will just be like, what? Speak up, son, what? So you have to be loud, clear, and of course, complete sentences. Grandpa doesn't know what getting a like on Instagram means. You have to explain it to grandpa, okay? The examiner is the same. Don't assume that the examiner has walked 1,000 miles in your shoes. They haven't, okay? Even if you're from the same culture, even if you're from the same city, it still doesn't mean that they have lived the same life as you. So you have to be clear, okay? All right. So, but visualizing that it's your grandma or your grandpa, that'll make you a little bit more relaxed, okay? All right. I'm happy I put a smile on some of your faces. That's fantastic. Pass it on. Okay, so now, the examiner can introduce any kind of topic, students. Don't try to guess the topics. There will be a variety of questions. They'll always be different. You'll never know what they are. They're always switching them up. The IELTS uses a massive question base for the speaking section. Okay, so here the examiner will say, let's talk about colors. What color is your home? Okay, you might have to think about that. Some of us don't really know what color our home is right off the bat, but it's okay to say, oh, wait a second, let me think about it. Well, the outside is and the inside is. Okay, so it's okay to do that. All right. Bekjan says, well, my home's color used to be gray, but recently it's been painted a white color since it's a sign of cleanliness, and it just makes our home look a lot livelier than before. Okay, Bekjan, good. Added a little bit there. Flower Sun says, my house is violet, not only because this is my mom's favorite color, but also it makes her house look quite unique compared to the other homes in the neighborhood. Okay, Flower Sun, not bad. Now again, remember your home, of course, has colors on the outside, the inside. You might have a fence that's painted a certain color, so get creative, right? Show fluency, okay? All right, Boomy says, my house is painted cream color on the outside and light pink on the inner walls. These colors do not only give a sense of calm and freshness, but also it looks bright and allows more sunlight to reflect around the home. Okay, Boomy, not bad. I did a little bit there to make it more natural. Alex says, well, my new home's color is neon pink. It is intense, eye-catching, and adventurous. designed by a famous domestic interior designer to make quite the first impression. Okay, Alex, sounds wild. I'd love to see that. Hope it doesn't hurt your eyes in the long run. Neon pink, okay. Shuja says, my house is all white. It's decent and a very usual color for homes. But yeah, it's only my room, which is kind of fancy colors all over with well contrasting colors, hot and cold colors like red and blue. Okay, Shak, make sure to say the colors. Okay, say the colors. So even if you just, feel you want to express that it's contrasting colors, still say the colors. Okay. Meheni Mirzoki says, well, our home is pretty colorful. The bedrooms are blue, but the living room is painted white, and the outside is yellowish. I actually just repainted my bedroom with the same blue, just a bit lighter. Mehni, very nice. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, so the apartment building I live in is painted a light green on the outside to fit with the motif that is common in my area. And on the inside, all of the rooms are an eggshell white to reflect the sunlight and make the rooms bright. Also, this gives my flat a feeling of peace and cleanliness. All right. So, repeat after me. What color is your home? Well, the apartment building I live in is painted a light green on the outside to fit with the motif that is common in my area. And on the inside, all of the rooms are an eggshell white to reflect the sunlight and make the rooms bright. Also, this gives my flat a feeling of peace and cleanliness. Okay, good. So, part one, usually some pretty simple questions, but that doesn't mean that your answers should be overly simple, especially if you're high-level English user. Show that, okay? The examiner doesn't know that if you're not showing it. So you have to show that with good communication. Here's the next question. What is your favorite color? And you see here this bracket Y. You see it here as well, bracket Y. So that's actually the way it looks on the examiner's question sheet. So on the examiner's question sheet, they'll have these brackets, and then they'll have a second question like why, sometimes why or why not, sometimes if yes, tell me more. And these are in brackets. And the reason that they have these questions in brackets on their question sheet is because they are instructed to ask that question if it is not included in the answer. So you should always include the reason whenever possible. Okay, so answer, reason. Okay, what's your answer? Why is that your answer? That should be automatic. So what is your favorite color? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay. All right. Kali Milok says, my preferred color is gray. Most of my clothes are gray. I find that the gray color matches many different colors and it's suitable to my skin tone. Very nice finish there, Kali. So it's suitable to my skin tone. And maybe even finish with an example, Kali. Like, in fact, you'll notice I'm wearing gray shirt, gray pants today. Okay. All right. Not my preferable color. My preferred color is a little bit better, Kali. Okay. All right. Samuel says, well, my favorite color has always been blue, as it not only symbolizes serenity and peace, but also the color of the liveries of two of my favorite Formula One teams, Red Bull and Williams. Okay, Samuel, good to know. Yeah, blue is a popular color. Let's see some more. Nur Dia says, my favorite color is pink. I love this light color since I was a kid because when I was 8 years old, my mom gave me a pink ribbon and I found it really beautiful and attractive, and I've been in love with this color ever since. So Nur, kind of finished that sentence, like, and I've been in love with this color ever since. Lydia Gerges says, my most loved color is black since it symbolizes strength, power, and authority. It is an elegant and prestigious color. Furthermore, black hides negative aspects and absorbs other colors. Wow, Lydia, getting deep. Okay, a couple of corrections there. Don't use the word things, Lydia. That's for all students. Always, always avoid the word things. When you're practicing your IELTS speaking at home or with other students, and you use the word things, or the other student, your speaking partner, uses the word things, immediately stop. Okay, right there and then stop. Say, hey, you just used the word things. Can you please replace that with a better noun? Okay, it's one nice way to improve your language is get rid of using the word things. Okay. Abhishek says, definitely I love the color blue because not only is it nature's color for water and the sky, and is rarely found in fruits and vegetables, but also it's embraced as the color of heaven. Okay, yeah, Abhishek, blue, gold, and white, I believe, are the colors of heaven. Yeah, that's nice, okay. Blueberries are one kind of fruit that's blue, one of my favorites. Okay, Crazy Life says, I favor the color white because it represents peace and happiness and purity of thoughts. As you'll notice today, I'm wearing a white shirt, which gives me confidence in this speaking exam. Okay, good. Palmyra Rotua Simbalon says, my favorite color is all shades of blue, because when I see blue, I feel the warmth of it, and I feel so calm and comforted. Just only looking at the blue color. Yeah, okay, that's good. Palmyra, it's not all kinds of blue. It's okay, it's not bad, but it's better English to say all shades of blue. Okay, it's shades of color. That's the more accurate language use there. Okay, YA says, I think I don't have a favorite color because normally I do not care about the color when I buy some merchandise. However, I mostly choose the color black and white as it matches with most other colors. So Wei, still give me some explanation there. Now, students, be really careful if you give a negative answer. Like you say, well, I don't have a favorite color, because then you have to explain yourself. And giving a negative answer and then explaining the negative answer can be quite challenging, okay, especially in another language that's not necessarily your mother tongue. So careful with that. With the IELTS interview, it's often better to lie, let's call this a white lie, and just make up some information, because giving a positive answer is usually much easier. So like saying, I love the color blue because it's the color of water and the sky. It represents life. As you'll notice, I'm wearing blue jeans and a blue pair of socks today. Okay, so making up the answer can be often easier. Stream Sniper says, my favorite color is black because it looks so cool, and also black colored clothes don't show dirt as much as others. Also, I think that black dresses symbolize authority and power. Yeah, that's very true, okay? It's not that they don't get as dirty, Stream Sniper, as other clothes. Black clothes get just as dirty, but it just doesn't show, okay? So dirt doesn't show on black clothing. So make sure to speak using logic always, okay? Kang Min Yuen says, my favorite color is yellow. Thinking of yellow leaves me energized. Sunshine filtering through my window, heralding a new morning, is the greatest joy. Its yellow sheen empowers me to take the day with strides of effort and enthusiasm. Okay, that's a great answer. I like it. So, what is your favorite color? I love the color green more than any other, as this matches well with my hazel colored eyes. For this very reason, I have lots of green plants in my home, as I feel it adds to the overall ambience in my apartment. All right. Okay, I just made that up on the fly as well. Here we go. So repeat after me. What is your favorite color? I love the color green more than any other, as this matches well with my hazel colored eyes. For this very reason, I have lots of green plants in my home, as I feel it adds to the overall ambience in my apartment. Okay, so a little bit about the green and green color and why it's so close to the heart for me. Okay, here we go. So next question, and sometimes the examiners will do this. Well, they'll say, what's your favorite? And then, is there something you don't like? Okay, so here is the next question. Are there any colors that you do not like? And of course, that's followed by the why question. So give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay, if you can't think of an answer right away, buy a little bit of time. Maybe say something like, I haven't really thought about that, but now that you ask me, I suppose I'm not a big fan of the color brown. Okay, all right. Pea Basak says, I don't like the dark shades like black and navy blue, since these colors have a large wavelength that resists sunlight to pass through it. I don't find comfort in them. Okay, very nice. Pea, I like it. Okay, some really nice language being produced by many students, like wavelength of the resisting the sunlight. Very nice, Pea. I like it. Okay, good. All right. Turk, just keep going. I'm trying to catch different students at different times. With 300 students in the class, not all comments are visible to me. Okay, so just keep going. All right, Saash says, my favorite color is red. I don't know how it becomes my favorite, but from childhood, I'm fond of this color. I don't know how it became my favorite, Saash. And that's to the previous question, obviously. Okay. Nazi Azarwan says, I like the rainbow. Nazi Azarwan, if you want to express that, fine, but you have to do it differently. You have to say, I like all the colors of the rainbow. Okay, and then explain why. All right, Samuel says, I usually don't prefer strong and bright colors like neon green and chrome gold for my clothes, as they not only hurt my eyes looking at them, but also stand out in public, and I'm not a fan of that. Okay, again, Samuel, avoid the word thing. Okay, avoid the word thing. All right. Robin Ragmi says, well, I don't like the color red because when I was about 13, I saw an accident that made me so furious. That's why I'm not into this color. It's the color of blood, right? Of course, right? So some people are turned off instinctually from the color red. Yeah, especially if you've seen something like a bad accident. Shiro Jidin says, I don't like gray and brown. I think it's because I'm really afraid of insects, and they are all mostly brown and gray. Another reason is I think they don't fit me like other colors do. Very good, okay? Yeah, Shiro Jidin, not a fan of brown and gray because it's the color of insects, and I'm not a big fan of insects. Rajveer Singh says, I never thought about it, but since you asked me, it's probably the black color, which I don't like, as it absorbs more sunlight than the other colors, and I don't have any black t-shirts for this reason. Yeah, okay. So, I've never quite thought about this, but since you ask, I suppose there are certain situations where I do not like the color yellow, especially for clothing, as it attracts insects like bees and wasps in the summer. So I don't own any yellow color shirts. Okay, yeah, some of you might sympathize or empathize with me if you've ever been in a part of the world where there are bees and wasps in the warm summer and you put on a yellow shirt and then you'll notice they're flying all around you and getting really excited. So repeat after me. Are there any colors that you do not like? Why? I've never quite thought about this, but since you ask, I suppose there are certain situations where I do not like the color yellow, especially for clothing, as it attracts insects like bees and wasps in the summer. So I don't own any yellow colored shirts. All right. Next couple of questions here. What are the most popular colors in your country, and do these have meanings? Now, the do these have meanings, of course, is a follow-up question here, but you want to probably answer that for the first question. So what are the most popular colors in your country? Of course, different nations have different colors as their national symbols or have meanings in their religious background. Okay. So Nagayman says, in Vietnam, people can see red everywhere from the rooftops to the furnitures inside the home. It's mainly because of the red color in Vietnamese tradition representing ultimate fortune and happiness. Very good, Un. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Sammy says, in my country, white and green and saffron are the most popular colors because our national flag is a combination of these, and they represent different meanings. White for peace, green for culture, and saffron is for godliness, I think is what you meant to write there, Sammy. Okay, Shaikh Faisal says, it's an interesting question. Sky blue is the color most popular in our country because there is a quote, blue, blue, God bless you, which is used to express that it looks good to see the color. Okay, Shaikh. Students, make sure to share your country. Don't assume that other students know what country you're from. So, Shaikh, I would love to know what country you have this expression in, okay? So, Peya says, the most popular colors in my country of Bangladesh are green and red, since green symbolizes the abundance of trees in my nation, and red symbolizes the rising sun, which one easily finds on our flag. Okay, very good. Mr. Uni with his glasses says, well, the most visible and popular colors in my country are black, white, green, blue, and red. Even these colors are reflected on the national flag. They signify the clear sky, purity, and the blood in our veins. Very good. Again, share the country that you're from. Okay. Masiej Misalik. My national flag is composed of two colors, white and red. I would describe them as very popular among Polish citizens because white symbolizes peace and red symbolizes the blood spilled for independence. So it's blood spilled. My national flag is composed of two colors, okay? And the blood spilled for independence. That's the correct English there. Okay. All right. Queen Star says, in my country, the most popular colors are green. Its meaning is nature, and red symbolizes the old historical grandparents. White symbolizes freedom, and sky blue symbolizes, of course, the sky. Okay, very good. Okay, yes, the most popular colors in Hungary are green, white, and red. as these colors make up the flag and symbolize the country's landscape and heritage. These colors can be seen on buildings and people's clothes. Okay, I just kind of made that up. It's true that the flag has those colors, but again, just roll with it. Just roll with it. Okay, so here we have a couple more questions, students. Have your preferences in colors changed over the years or stayed the same? Notice this is present perfect. And if you repainted your home, what colors would you use? I'll leave those last couple questions for you to try on your own. If you'd like to get an estimate for your speaking level, you can record your answer for these last two questions on your phone. Make sure it's in MP3 format, and then you can email those to me, Adrian@aehelp.com. Make sure it's MP3 so I don't download it. I don't like downloading audio files, okay? I just want to listen to them through Chrome, and then I can give you a score estimate and let you know how you did. Now, if you like this class and you want to watch more videos in HD with me and with other teachers, you can visit aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Click the big red button to join the premium package, and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Tomorrow I will be back to start a task 2 essay with members, and also we will do a task 1 essay for the academic version of the exam. It'll be a diagram or a chart where, of course, everybody can join the chat. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. If it's late in your country, then sweet dreams to you. My name is Adrian, and I'm signing out from Budapest. Bye for now.